Welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Formula Super A's, now ready to do their stuff on this kart track on the inside of the Motor Speedway, the big NASCAR speedway here, which brings in thousands and thousands of fans for its big NASCAR events, and there's quite a few spectators watching this bit of karting as well with the end of season. It's a bit like the Macau Formula 3 race for the karting contingent, their end of season sunshine here in North Carolina in the United States. I'm talking of the Macau race, of course, former kartists going well in Macau in the Formula 3, won in the end by Britain's Ralph Furman, one of the most successful British kart drivers of a few years ago, and in fact taking the victory from Jarno Trulli. Trulli won the second heat on the road in the end, but because the race was stopped with Ralph Furman's accident, Jarno Trulli didn't win at the end. Of course, Jarno Trulli, we've seen him very successful in Formula Super A with Tony Kart in recent years, this year's German Formula 3 champion. Well, the Formula Super A's on with their pre-final now, and a good start it was for number 14 with the initial advantage, Milton Ritterbris. And Milton Ritterbris, who has been racing in karts over several years, although in fact left karting to go off and race in single-seaters. We've seen him compete in the British Formula Vauxhall Junior Championship, for example. Has basically run out of money in terms of single-seater racing, has come back to karting, and he's come back with the Italian Birol concern. So Milton Ritterbris is the race leader at the moment. It looks as though he's being chased by Ricard Kael, number 3, and number 17 up there, Marco Dupau as well. Very competitive. Oh, but the race leader's gone off. A spin for Milton Ritterbris on the Birol, and just when it looks as though he was in fine form here in the pre-final, remember, we've still got the final to come, but Milton Ritterbris spins out of the action, and that's a bit disappointing to say the least for Ritterbris. And the battle for the lead now goes down between number 3, Ricard Kael from Sweden, and the number 17 kart of Marco Dupau, the Dutch driver. And in fact, Marco Dupau, having a little look, goes through, takes the lead, and Massimiliano Orsini is right there as well, number 35 on the Swiss Atlas kart, the world champion of 1995. Right in there now with Marco Dupau. Well, Max Orsini didn't have quite as strong a season in the World Championships this year as we saw him in 1995. But he's looking pretty good here, has to be said, much more competitive. He comes back in front now. And Marco Dupau dropping back a little bit. So, Massimiliano Orsini. Won the 1995 World Championship at Valence in France. And one of the most experienced competitors, he comes through to win this pre-final and put himself on pole position for the grand final itself. Finished down in 9th place in the World Championships this year. So he would like to make up for that disappointment. So 1-2 for Orsini and Daniele Perilla, both on Swiss Atlas, so the Swiss Atlas kart working very well here. Christophe Vassor finished 3rd, David Forret finished 4th, Marco Dupau finished 5th in the end, ahead of Andrea Bellicchi, Ricard Kael, Charlotte Hurlberg in 8th place, ahead of Cesar Balestreri and Gandolfi Ennio in 10th position. Alessandro Minetti finishing right down in 12th position in that pre-final. Nicola Gianniberti down in 14th. We get the final itself underway. The kart's coming round, ready to start off this 30-lap grand final. The last race here, and the Formula Super A contingent, away they go. Max Orsini leading it, the winner of the pre-final, with the initial advantage once again here. 2nd place is the number 24 kart of Christophe Vassor on the Tony kart. Daniele Perilla's dropped down to 3rd place. And in fact, Marco Dupau's come up into 3rd place now, number 17. Perilla then in 4th position, being chased by the rest of the pack. And remember, Milton Ritabris having to start right from the back of the field. And work his way up the order. The only advantage that he has got is that his tyres won't have done an awful lot of work in that first race because of coming off. And well, we've seen that work well to some people's advantage in the past. For example, Alessandro Minetti a couple of years back when he won the World Championships in Argentina. When he went off in the... Oh, look at that, the leader's gone off, Max Orsini. Well, we don't often see him make a mistake like that, but he was basically out in front, looked in control of this race, and Orsini making a mistake and throwing away the opportunity to finish off his season with a good result. So the battle for the lead is between number 24, Christophe Vasseur, and number 17, Marco De Pau now. Tony Kant versus CRG. Let's just take another look at that. Orsini basically just lost it on his own, but very neat 360. Watch him here, brings it back round, gets back on the power, the rear wheel spinning, and he manages to execute a very neat spin turn and get underway once again. Back with the leaders though, we're in the closing stages of this race now. Marco De Pau just behind Christophe Vasseur. Christophe Vasseur, number 24, the Frenchman, ahead of Marco De Pau, the Dutch driver, and De Pau going down the inside. Oh, it looks as though he's gone through. Marco De Pau now goes ahead. Third position for number 34, Daniele Perilla. And meanwhile, Milton Ritabris is gradually making his way up the order, having started from the back of the field. He's now got himself into the top 10. Good battle going on between these two up front though. Marco De Pau versus Christophe Vasseur. Tony Kart, who took all before them in the European and World Championships this year with Johnny Mislievich. And now, in fact, he's dropped back a little bit there, Vasseur. He's now back into the clutches of Daniele Perilla on the Swiss Hutless. But as I say, Tony Kart dominating World and European. Oh, there goes Perilla. He's gone up into second position now, past Christophe Vasseur. Johnny Mislievich not competing here at Charlotte. So neither the Formula A nor Formula Super A European champions here. But Marco De Pau is going absolutely superbly. Christophe Vasseur is now coming under increasing pressure from teammate David Four now. I wonder if Vasseur hasn't taken a little bit too much out of his tyres in the pre-final and the early part of this final. He does seem to be dropping back somewhat now. Marco De Pau leads. And Milton Ritabris has come up into second position, believe it or not now. The man who started at the back of the grid virtually of this one, the leader of the pre-final, who spun out, remember, number 14, he is now in second position. So it's a remarkable recovery for the Birrell driver. And in second position, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch our leader here. The leader is just going on to the last lap. And Marco De Pau is heading for victory. Milton Ritabris in second place. And in fact, I'm a little wrong in saying that Johnny Mislievich isn't here, because he is. He's battling for third position. So, well, we hadn't seen anything of him earlier on, but Johnny Mislievich, there he is, number 25. He is in third place, the World and European champion, just to prove me wrong. And he's now battling with Ritabris for that second place. The checkered flag, though, being made ready. It looks as though Marco De Pau is going to win this race. Here he comes, and Marco De Pau wins it from Milton Ritabris in second, Johnny Mislievich in third, David Four in fourth. But that was not the end of the drama, because it was weighbridge time. Remember, a minimum weight of 140 kilos, and poor old Marco De Pau found himself below that at 139.5, just 500 grams too light. But there's no getting away with it. He was too light thrown out of the results, and that meant that Milton Retabris became the North American kart champion. The man who'd led in the pre-final had spun off, if you remember, had fought his way back up from the back of the grid of the final itself, and Retabris now the winner. Delight for the Birrell camp.
Hi.
It's good, eh?
Yeah, it's good. Now it's good. Everything is cool now.
Is your kart 140 kilos?
It's 141.5 exactly.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So a great end of season for Milton Retabris. Great return to karting for him as well, having tried to get into single-seater racing, running out of money, and it all not working for him. Not a Hellberg okay on the weight, but disappointment for Marca Dupau, her teammate in the CRG Equipe. We had the chance to catch up with Marca Dupau to ask him a little bit more about what happened there at the Speed and Design Show in Holland over the weekend.
Marco, het was een heftig weekendje daar in Amerika. Je bent nu een beetje rustig.
He said, well, you had a pretty tough time in the United States.
De beurs Speed and Design waar jij je kart presenteert. Vertel het nog eens één keer. Wat is er precies gebeurd in Charlotte?
About what happened there.
In Charlotte heb ik de finale gewonnen.
Basically in the race in Charlotte, I won the final, but simply I was disqualified because the kart was too light.
Iedereen vraagt zich af, hoe is zoiets nou mogelijk?
How is this possible for a professional karter like you?
Ja, dat vraag ik
Well, I'm wondering that as well. It really shouldn't have happened.
Het mag eigenlijk gewoon niet gebeuren natuurlijk. Maar het is de hele week...
We had trouble with the weight all week long.
En ja, de pre-finale wel.
In the pre-final we checked it and it was 141.5 kilos, which is okay. You're over the top of the minimum 140 kilos. Obviously, if you go below that, then you get thrown out. For the final, there was a half-hour gap between the two races, between the pre-final and the final. We changed an engine and we also changed some of the bodywork. And basically, I think we were so busy in that half hour, we forgot the extra kilo to put the extra lead on the car. The race was also longer, so we filled the tank completely. But suddenly, could see, put it on the weighbridge and we were something like 3 ounces underweight.
Het was meedogenloos, hè?
Must have been a terrible moment for you. There was nothing you could do, was there? There were people shouting, drink some water or something like that, but you're not allowed to do that, are you? What went through your mind? You can do nothing. Nothing, it's not allowed, you're not even allowed to drink some water. Everyone is there watching. You can't put anything in your helmet, nothing. You just can't get away with it. You can't drink. If you have once you've driven the race, no one can come near you. Nothing can happen. You've got to finish got to be weighed as you finish the race. Then you can have a drink.
De toekomst. Je gaat natuurlijk nu altijd zorgen dat het gewicht in orde is, want het is, dat overkomt jou niet meer.
So what about next year?
Ja, volgend jaar het ziet er.
Well, it looks good.
Qua karting ziet het er gewoon heel erg goed uit.
Basically, I'm going to continue in karting next year.
Wat ga je doen precies?
Precisely, what will you be doing? Well, I'll be racing for the CRG factory again, using CRG frames and engines tuned by Peter de Bruin.
Ja, banden is nog niet helemaal 100% zeker.
This year, we've been using Dunlop tyres. We're not 100% sure exactly on what we'll be doing on the tyres side yet. It hasn't been going quite yet, but they've been making a lot of progress. And they're great people, really good to work with. So we have to discuss this so far.
Schieters zijn er hard aan bezig, zijn goed in de vooruitgang. Dus, maar daar moeten we nog even eigenlijk over om de tafel en voor de rest is alles wel rond.
Zie jou dus terug op Eurosport.
So we'll be seeing you on Eurosport again next year in World and European Super A.
Yeah,
absolutely. So the end of the North American Karting Championships and the winner in the end, Milton Retabris, the winner of the Formula Super A. And delight for him. And a good event overall, with Sandro Mara taking the win in the Formula A contingent. So I hope you enjoyed a little different taste of karting from North America. We'll be bringing you a lot of North American racing here on Eurosport in 97, so stay with us for that.